So let's get into it. Men's Battle Royal. What'd you think?
It was fine. I don't know that I had any real strong feelings about that match.
Yeah.
The ending was...
The ending was very cool because, so the funny thing is that...
You called it.
Yeah, so I picked Matt to win because because Bray, if you had watched the Ultimate Deletion, Bray was at the bottom of the lake of reincarnation, and when Senor Benjamin went to find him, his body was no longer there. And he had been showing up at house shows and stuff like that. So I thought maybe Bray would come in and help Matt get the win. That's exactly what happened. The one thing that really struck me about the men's battle royal is just how many dudes there are in that company that are just floundering, not really doing much at all. Not because they're bad, but just whether it's bad booking or bad storylines or just a general lack of interest, there are at least 20 guys that, outside of Matt, really don't have a direction.
Yeah. They have a lot of men
Yeah.
in the business, and they just don't have that many
There aren't
matches and storylines for that many men.
Yeah, there aren't that many belts, I think, is the problem. But then the bigger problem is that if you just willy-nilly add belts to everything, then it's like, okay, well, everybody's got a belt. Nobody's special.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, it was like, wow, there's, a bunch of tag teams. Essentially, it was just like a tag team battle royal with a couple of singles competitors thrown in. But overall, I was like, wow, what are these guys even doing? Like, Matt Hardy wins, and all those other guys go back to not really doing a whole lot.
Just filling in the gaps when
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah. So.
Showing up for the battle royals and the Royal Rumbles.
But I mean, it was good. It was entertaining.
Yeah, it was. It was a
I'm
good match.
very interested to see where this whole Woken Matt Hardy thing goes. Honestly, so the cool thing was, so at the end it was Matt Hardy and Baron Corbin, and that's when Bray Wyatt, like the lights go down and Bray Wyatt appears. I think it'd be cool. I mean, it can't really happen because Baron Corbin is the lone wolf, but he has the same kind of look. If
Got a darkness about him.
yeah, like if they made it like a faction, when Jeff Hardy comes back, he could be Brother Nero or whatever, and Bray and Baron could be a part of that. That'd be a pretty crazy faction.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Yeah,
Do you want to move on to the cruiserweight?
let's do it.
Yeah, cruiserweight.
This was a show stealer for me. This was a great match.
I enjoy the cruiserweights.
Yeah,
They're really good for the most part.
yeah. It's been booked as the heart versus the soul, the heart of 205 Live versus the soul of 205 Live. And man, those two guys put on a spectacular show. Lots of high spots, Spanish fly off the top, huge tope con hilo, all kinds of stuff. And it was really cool. It was nice to see them actually get a little space to work. I was afraid that it was going to be like a 3-minute match, and we got to go. We don't have time for the cruiserweights. Just get a couple moves in and do it. But no, it was a good. They gave him time to tell a story, and it was a fun match. So I think Cedric deserves that belt too. He's been without the belt for long enough. So
Yeah, it was a good match, and it was a good win.
yeah.
Intercontinental Championship. What'd you think about that?
I thought it was a good match. These guys have been doing this a lot lately. Wrestling each other over and over and over again.
But they've gotten good at it.
Exactly.
In doing it, they've had a lot of
Exactly.
practice. And I
That's-
like watching all of them wrestle.
Yeah,
They're
that-
all good.
That was kind of the point, was like, I should at this point be very tired of this whole thing, but it's not. It's not boring. They did a really, really good job. And it's amazing how quickly I turned. Like, the Miz came. I wanted Finn to win. I mean, I'm wearing my Finn Balor t-shirt. I'm a big Finn fan. But the Miz came out and he sent the Miztourage back to the back, and I was like, I think I want Miz to win. So,
And I voted for Seth. I used to hate Seth Rollins so much, but he's grown on me. It's not that I really wanted him to win.
yeah.
But I was fine with him winning, which a while ago I would have been
Yeah.
not because I didn't like him. But he's grown on me, and it wasn't a shock that the Miz didn't retain, having a new baby and all.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing was he probably needs some time to go spend with his wife and help out and raise his daughter. So it'll be interesting to see how they book him in the future. But yeah, man, I love me some Miz. He's great. He's great.
He's good. They're all good. Asuka and Charlotte.
Asuka and Charlotte. I wasn't sure really how I felt about this match. I mean, leading up to it, I really wasn't a big fan of not that I wasn't a big fan, but the build for it didn't have me super stoked for the match. And then they had the match, and it was a really, really good match. But then Asuka tapped out, and I was like, I don't know. But I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So part of me, when Asuka tapped out, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, no. But then I was like, well, if she had won, I would have been like, when is she going to lose?
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with streaks is that they end up becoming bigger than the streak holder, right? And so you have to book and write everything because you have this streak. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, but this is ruining everything. So why not just break the streak so that we can book and write better stories? So I think that's what this will end up being, hopefully.
Yeah, and I was fine with it. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way it all ended was nice too. They ended as friends, and
they did.
She
yeah.
said Charlotte was ready for Asuka. Isn't that what she said?
She did. Yeah. I'm just thinking about how that may have been what's the word that I'm looking for? Maybe there should have been a sense of foreboding.
Perhaps.
Right?
She won't be ready next time.
Well, for a match that happens a little later on in the card, because that exact thing happens later on, but with very different results.
Very different results, yes.
So
maybe it was like a foreshadowing.
yeah, foreshadowing. Thank you.
That's the
what
word.
I was looking for.
Yeah. So I was fine. I was fine with Charlotte. Charlotte, I hope this now opens the door for somebody to kind of come in and maybe. Charlotte's been the title holder now for quite a while.
Yeah.
Maybe we can give somebody else an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Becky?
Becky? I want it to be Becky.
Is it Becky? Could it be Becky?
Becky.
Could we maybe get Becky involved somehow?
Becky would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, the Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. Championship.
Boy, oh boy, is Rusev over. So Aiden English comes out.
Why didn't he get the belt?
Aiden English comes out. He does like a rap, like a spoken word type, Def Jam, slam poetry thing. And then he says, ends on "it's," and the whole WrestleMania crowd shouts Rusev Day at the top of their lungs. It was, I mean, if I was Rusev standing backstage and heard that, I would have been like, holy crap.
That's me.
What?
I'm Rusev Day.
What even is this life? It's insane. And not that I don't like I love Rusev. I think it's amazing, and I'm happy for him that he's over and he gets that reaction. But man, could you imagine if he had gotten that belt?
Do you think he should have?
I think he should have. Honestly, so here's the problem, right? I'm actually a closet Jinder Mahal fan. Yeah, I know. I actually think that he has improved as of late in the ring and on the microphone. And so there was part of me that because I was going through like, okay, who could win? Bobby Roode could win. Could Randy Orton win? And then I got to Jinder, and I was like, oh man, if you really wanted to bury Jinder Mahal, you book him to win. Or I mean, it's either bury or you just get nuclear heat for a heel. But they need to decide which direction they want to go. Do they, is he a heel? I don't know. But anyways, Jinder Mahal won, and I guess that's fine. But it's it's WrestleMania. So what if Rusev wins? I mean, it would obviously be great if he wins a title at another show or whatever. But this is WrestleMania, and you've got 75,000 people that are like chomping at the bit to root for this guy and shout. Like it would have been a cool WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
And so I understand that maybe from like booking and storytelling and all this stuff, maybe it was a better idea to book Jinder to win. But oh man, I really feel like the audience got robbed of a really cool moment.
Yeah. It would have been nice to see. It would have been nice to see the reaction.
Yeah.
If Rusev had won.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is what you were just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, so one of my biggest hopes is that Adam Cole makes it to the main roster and he gets a WrestleMania main event. And I want to hear a WrestleMania crowd shout Adam Cole, baby. Like that to me, like it gives me goosebumps just thinking about how loud and how cool that would be. And this is sort of the same thing. Like people would have went crazy. And I really wanted to see that, but now we'll never know. Thanks a lot, Vince.
Ooh, harsh.
I'm going to get suspended.
You are. Yeah. So you were okay. You were okay with the Jinder win, but
Yeah.
Rusev would have been.
I like genders. There's no problem there. It's just like, I don't know. I want to like Jinder, and I don't know how great of a heel he is. So I feel like he's gotten nuclear heel heat, but it's not. It's there. It's just going to be the same. He's the foreign bad guy. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But they generally are not very good at writing foreign heels. It's usually just they speak their, a different language to get heel heat. That's like, eh.
Well, we shall see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, should we move on to
Yeah.
the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and
Oh boy.
Ronda Rousey and
One
Kurt
of the
Angle?
most divisive matches. To be perfectly honest with you, I really enjoyed this match.
I enjoyed this match too. And when they said Ronda Rousey was coming to the WWE, I was like,
Yeah.
Ronda, she's so hard and tough.
I think a lot of people had that reaction.
But she just over the last weeks, I feel like she's doing a good job.
She absolutely, in my opinion, like I try to be measured, right? I don't want to fly off the handle and be like, this stupid. But my initial reaction to having her in the WWE, wrestle in the WWE, was like, really? But I honestly think that she's been doing a good job. Mm-hmm. The build to this match I thought was good. Not perfect, but I thought it was good. I was interested, and I thought the match was really entertaining.
It was.
I thought she did a great job for this being her first match in front of 70-something thousand people.
78,000 people.
Like, you do something for the first time in front of 70,000 people and see how well you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really entertaining. I thought so generally with the WWE, when they do mixed matches, the boys don't fight the girls and the girls don't fight the boys. If somebody tags in, whoever,
Right.
if the other person has to get in, which they did in the beginning. But there was a really cool moment where stuff just got really chaotic, and Ronda Rousey ended up like squaring off with Triple H, and Triple H it was so good. Like his facial expression and body language were just perfect. And so they ended up mixing it up. Like they ended up like actually wrestling, and it was super entertaining. But it ended up being Steph and Ronda in the ring, and this was also a cool moment I thought, because Ronda has the armbar set up. She's, but she normally in MMA you would just try to break the grip that the opponent has as quickly as you can, but she like does it really slowly, and you can hear just from the camera audio, or like a mic somewhere out there, you could hear Stephanie just like, please no, please no, please, just begging, and she just like breaks the grip really slowly and then sinks in the arm bar and taps her out. I mean,
it was good.
It was really, really good.
It was an entertaining.
And honestly, if you're Ronda Rousey and you have gone through the match and you're trying to think of, what you're doing, if you think about when people are standing in front, they're doing public speaking or something like that. Most people just try to talk, they just talk as fast as they can, just to kind of get through it. And sometimes they don't even notice it. And I thought it was really cool that Ronda, she really took her time. She didn't rush through it like, oh crap, 70,000 people are waiting for me to do this. She really let that moment sit,
Mm-hmm.
It
was smart.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job.
She did. And I enjoyed watching Kurt Angle wrestle too. I mean,
Yeah.
how often do you see that?
Yeah, he tossed Triple H around a lot.
A lot.
There, whenever I see Kurt Angle walk, I'm just like, ooh, knees.
So that's the case with a few men out
I'm
there.
very, very like cognizant of what my knees are doing right now. But man, he's good. He's still got it.
Mm-hmm.
And so does Triple H. Triple H was really, really good too. Dude, that guy's so jacked. Like super veiny and
Super veiny.
muscly.
Muscly.
Take some of them steroids.
Big muscles.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's speculation.
Speculation.
Nobody knows anything here.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my good friend Triple H are just going out and taking steroid cocktails. Obviously not me. But anyways, yeah, I thought it was a great match. Thought it was really entertaining. I thought it was a great debut, and I'm actually, there's a lot of positivity in terms of Ronda being in the WWE and what she's capable of.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where she goes.
I was really thinking this was going to be a stinker of a match, and then it was going to be like, oh man, what's she going to do now? But
Well, and it's funny because the weeks leading up to this, there have been some moments where it's like, wow, she did really good. Like,
yeah,
surprisingly. And then there were, like, was it just last week when Stephanie put her through the table? And it was like, ee.
yeah,
That wasn't so good.
somebody's going to get hurt
Yeah. So.
when it actually comes down to wrestling. But no, it was good. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they end up doing with her. I wonder if it will end up being like Asuka versus Ronda next year, next Mania,
I can see that.
or Ronda versus Charlotte.
Or Becky.
Yeah, can we get Becky involved? Where's Becky?
Would you like to move on?
Sure.
Or do you have more
No.
about the Ronda?
Nope.
New Day, Usos, Bludgeon Brothers. Any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I thought that the New Day was going to win. I'm perfectly fine with the Bludgeon Brothers winning, though. And it was a really brutal match. It was short.
I was just going to say it was a really fast match. I blinked and it was over.
Yeah. And it was just it was Luke Harper and Eric Rowan annihilating people.
Which is what they have done.
Exactly. Yeah. It's no different. Really, what it ended up being was New Day and Usos being the like random local talent guys. I mean,
Right.
they did the same exact thing to them. So, but yeah, There you go. We have new SmackDown tag team champions.
I would have liked it to have been the New Day.
Yeah, I just, for some reason, I don't know. They're just always so relevant. And I feel like the Bludgeon Brothers don't necessarily need a belt.
Because they just are.
Because they exist on a plane that doesn't give a crap about belts.
They just come and demolish people.
Yeah. But
Who
no.
cares about a belt?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they book this moving forward. Maybe if we get a bit of a bit more of, because there have been times in the past where the New Day and the Usos have had to team up, have had to sort of pool their resources. So it'll be interesting to see how. It would be really cool.
What?
If on Tuesday, the Bludgeon Brothers come out to sort of celebrate their victory, and the lights go out, and Sanity came out to challenge them. Not necessarily for the belts, but just came out and maybe even like beat them up and then left to start a feud between them. I don't know. I think it would be cool.
It would be cool.
Killian Dane and...
Killian Dane could take him.
Killian Dane!
He's one of the few that could.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move on.
Let's move on. Wait.
Okay.
Can we just acknowledge Xavier Woods' afro and beard?
I'm telling you, man.
He looked amazing.
He did. He's
Just wanted to bring
that was
up.
sort of a throwback to his original look.
Yeah. I
So,
was a fan.
yeah.
All right. So then we had the weird John Cena Elias.
Yeah. That whole thing. I mean, so Cena, when we first saw him, Cena was in the crowd.
Yeah.
Right?
He
And
ran off during one of the women's
the Asuka
Charlotte match. He ran
He
up
just-
the ramp.
for no reason. In fact, even Asuka and Charlotte were just like, "Is that John Cena?
Who's that guy?
Did John Cena just run past me? That guy kind of looked like John Cena.
What's John doing?
The big muscly guy? Is that who that was?" And then so he comes out, and then Elias comes out and gets the crowd all riled up. John does his 5 moves of doom, and it looks like maybe that's it. He goes to walk up the ramp.
He's all disappointed.
Yeah, and that's when the lights go down and the gong hits. And there was a cool moment where the spotlight shone in the ring on Undertaker's hat and robe and glove, or jacket and gloves and stuff. And then cartoon lightning from the sky hits them.
Way
and they
to take
disappear.
a cool moment. And
I wish I could see what it looked like in the place. In the
it was probably flashes of light would be my guess. I mean, obviously there's no lightning hitting the ring.
No, they've done stuff like that in the past.
Have they? Well, it did look like there might have been some fire on it. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
After the
Yeah.
so something happened in there.
Whatever it was
But I feel like
very bright.
within the last few months, I feel like the WWE has discovered how they can like impose images on the screen, and they're
Yes.
having a great time with it. But it's like, what, 20, 30 years
Yeah.
ago
Yeah.
images.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, guys, we should try this lens flare thing that I found. Lens flare. No. Yeah, so anyways, lightning comes down, hits the gear, and the gear disappears, and then the Undertaker appears to make his 7-minute entrance. He gets in there, and it's essentially a squash match.
It was fast.
All he did was beat the crap out of John Cena. Ended up hitting him with a tombstone pile driver and pinned him. 1, 2, 3. And dumb, stupid me picked John Cena.
You were not thinking WrestleMania.
I was not thinking that this is WrestleMania. This is a WrestleMania moment. So yeah, That's on me. I don't
It's
know what I
okay.
was thinking.
It's okay. We all have those moments. I have so many of them.
Yeah. So,
Most of the time.
anyways, but I mean, that was kind of a cool moment. Took him about 5 to 7 minutes to get out of the
To
ring.
then leave the ring. It was a.
But hey,
it was
he's
a
the
lot of
Undertaker.
entrance and
Can you give him a
exit.
minute? He's 60 or something.
Takes a long time to get in there and
Yeah.
out of there.
He looked great though. Wow, he was like jumping all over the place and running the ropes and picking John Cena up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I was glad John Cena didn't win. He
Yeah.
wins everything.
Lol, Cena wins.
He wins everything. All right. Sammy, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Shane O'Mac.
So Daniel Bryan and Shane make their way to the ring. Shane comes out first, then Daniel Bryan. Everybody's super excited to see Daniel in the ring again.
Yes,
Me
included.
Absolutely. And then Kevin Owens' music hits, and obviously everyone is looking towards
The ramp.
the ramp. But Kevin and Sammy come out from behind, and they clobber Daniel Bryan. They essentially neutralize him. Like, they beat him up so badly that there's like the EMTs out there, and they have the little gurney or whatever it is. And Shane McMahon gets back in the ring, and he's like, "Ring the bell. Let's do this. I'm going to beat up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn all by myself."
Pretty accurate portrayal you just did there.
And then he gets the snot beat out of him until Daniel Bryan is able to recover. He gets back in. I mean, the match was good, I thought. There was a really kind of funny moment when Shane is... So the story is he had diverticulitis and a umbilical hernia. And he's holding his stomach, and he's just in pain. And Kevin Owens leans down, and he screams at the top of his lungs, "Does your tummy hurt?" Dude, I was cracking up. The man has a hernia.
Give him a minute.
Give him a minute. Yes, his tummy hurts. Yeah, and there was another kind of cool moment. The beautiful thing about the build to this match is that the whole thing, in terms of Daniel Bryan, the relationship between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to Daniel Bryan, like, the whole build has essentially been made to make us think that they're doing something that they don't want to do. They ultimately don't want to hurt Daniel Bryan, but they have to. They've been put in a position where they have to hurt a guy that they really respect, that they are, that they consider a friend, that they've wrestled with for the past however many years on the indie circuit. And they've done a great job of building it in that way. And there was a cool moment where Sami Zayn is punching Daniel Bryan, and the whole time he's asking him, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?" And I don't know, like, the storytelling throughout this whole thing has been really, really good.
It's been good and entertaining and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really interesting character stuff from Kevin, and Sammy really is the standout for me, just because he was sort of a white bread babyface forever, and to see him morph from that into like a really sort of smug heel to, there was a moment in the build to this where they were on SmackDown, and Sammy hit Daniel Bryan with a haluva kick, and it just was one of those things where he was like catatonic. Like, he didn't know what to do. And so Sami Zayn, I thought, has been, just he's done some really, really cool character stuff. Mm-hmm. So anyways, but in terms of the match, Daniel Bryan hits Sammy with the running knee, and then sinks in the yes lock, and Sammy taps.
And Sammy taps. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here.
I don't know. Maybe they pull a John Cena and they just sit in the crowd.
And then run up the ramp all
Yeah.
willy-nilly.
Maybe they show up at Raw.
Oh. Well, they have to show up somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
they're Sami Zayn and Kevin
Yeah.
Owens. I wonder if this tears their friendship apart or if it just makes them stronger.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. I hope they keep moving forward with this until the right time, you know.
They're a good pair.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see.
It would be premature if they broke them up now.
Yeah. It was fun to see Daniel Bryan wrestle again, though.
Yeah, that dude was having fun.
Mm-hmm. It's like the best day of my life getting beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave Brie a kiss after the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sweet. Nia and Alexa.
Yeah.
Can I just say I'm so glad Carmella never showed up in the entirety of this event.
That's right.
The whole event.
Yeah. She showed up on the pre-show, you know, holding her briefcase and
She was in the Battle Royal
She
and
was
she
in
was
the-
the first one out.
yeah, so it was like, yeah, I'm glad she didn't either.
I was a little concerned that I didn't expect she'd show up during the Asuka and Charlotte match because that was just too big for her to be involved in.
There's a conversation between A and B. See yourself out. I don't know.
I was a little afraid she'd show up during this one. So I'm glad she didn't. But yes, it was fun to see Nia and Alexa.
Yep.
And for Nia to win.
Yeah. Yeah, there was it was actually you know, it was cool for me because I like both of them. I like Nia and Alexa. And it was actually a competitive match for the most part. And it was really cool to see Alexa, even in a loss, still, I feel like she benefited from this match, because it could have been a squash match and been super believable because Alexa is tiny and Nia is super strong. But it was really competitive.
It went back and forth. There were moments where I thought Alexa's going to win this.
She could win this match and it would feel legitimate. It would feel right.
It would feel not. There were a couple times where I was like, "Oh, Nia's going to get counted out. That's how this is going to end."
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do
I'm so glad she didn't.
like a disqualification or anything like that.
But there were a couple times where I thought Alexa actually could legitimately win this.
Yeah, honestly, you know, in terms of of WWE pay-per-views, I don't know that there was one, you know, non-finish, because usually,
I don't think there was.
yeah, usually the way that they do it, you know, is very unfulfilling. You know, you have these, especially to end pay-per-views, where somebody, you know, comes out and interrupts something, or there's a count out, or somebody takes their belt and leaves, or there's DQ, so the person that did win doesn't get the belt, or whatever it was. But they had like a legitimate match and a legitimate finish, and yeah, Nia wins, and it was a good match.
It was, and I really like Nia. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I don't have anything else about that. Do you?
I do not. Let's move on.
All right. Shinsuke,
Oh,
AJ.
the dream match. This was my favorite match of the night. I mean, I could go either way on this match and the cruiserweight match. Both, I think those two might be tied for my favorite match of the night. Actually, I mean, in terms of like weightiness, AJ Shinsuke, it by far is my favorite match. But just like in terms of in-ring work,
Watching wrestling.
yeah, exactly. Watching fun wrestling matches. This was, you know, this one and the cruiserweight match were my favorites. But yeah, this was a really, really good match. I mean, essentially, you got to see everything. You know, you got to see your favorite parts of a Shinsuke Nakamura match and your favorite parts of an AJ match, and you just sort of ta-da match, and it's amazing. So, with that being said, AJ is reeling, and Shinsuke is in the turnbuckle, setting up the Kinshasa. He runs at AJ. AJ ducks and kind of falls backwards, grabs, like they roll through. AJ grabs his legs and hits him with the Styles Clash.
It happened so fast.
It was a really, really cool counter. He's never been countered like that before. And yeah, hits the Styles Clash, rolls him over, gets the pin, the 1, 2, 3. And they have like this moment where, like Charlotte and Asuka, they're hugging each other.
A moment of respect.
You know, exactly. And Shinsuke actually goes to the official. He grabs the belt, and he gets down on one knee, and he presents the belt to AJ. And AJ takes it, and, you know, it was this really, really cool moment until it wasn't. Actually, no, it still was a cool moment, but Shinsuke low blows AJ. Gets him right in the nuts.
Ouch.
Yeah, and then proceeds to just kick him in the face and
Kick him off the apron.
Kicked him off the ring apron and starts beating him up, and he hits him with the Kinshasa outside the ring. So big time heel turn.
Yes.
Big time heel turn.
Yeah.
Because Shinsuke is one of the most over wrestlers. I mean, people love his music, so this was big. But I think I'm okay with it. I think it'll be he does really good heel work. So I hope that they can keep him at the top of the card for a year, and he gets to have another Mania match that he wins. So
Yeah. We shall see.
should we move on? You have anything else?
No, I don't have anything specific. I just enjoyed that match a lot. It was fun to see.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see what they do with Shinsuke now.
Yeah.
And interesting. Like it's not a bad thing, I don't think. Yeah. Okay, so moving on. The Bar and Braun and Nicholas.
Okay. So Braun gets out there and says, so there's a weird like parade float thing to bring out the Bar. And Braun tosses the little float off of the ramp. And when he gets down to the ring, he says that everybody's been waiting to hear about the mystery partner. And he says, my partner's one of you, or one of you, or one of you. And he goes out into the crowd, and he's walking all over the place, and there are drunk people just like, hey, man, it's me. Hey, pick me.
It's not you.
Yeah, like, bro, not you. Just, And so, anyways, he gets to a certain point. We can't decide.
We don't know if this kid was a plant. Is he someone's kid?
Yeah. And so he just goes, you! And the kid walks to the ring with him, and he essentially stands in the same spot.
Holding the ropes.
Holding the ropes, just standing there, while Braun Strowman beats up Sheamus and Cesaro, and he actually gets tagged in. At one point, Sheamus and Cesaro get the upper hand, and he crawls over to Nicholas.
And he had his hand out.
And Nicholas like puts his hand out, and Braun tagged him in, and he gets out there, and it looks like maybe he wants to do something, but then he's like, actually, you know what? I'm 10, and I can't do this. So he tags Braun in, and Braun ends up winning. So, yeah.
So this little kid is holding up his title belt.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Raw Tag Team Champions, Braun Strowman and Nicholas. It's funny. We both picked Braun and whoever to win. But, yeah, it was odd.
And we had so many speculations. Could it be
I had heard
Hogan?
Yeah, I'd heard Hogan. I'd heard Batista, Rey Mysterio.
I was like, they're going to bring James Ellsworth back.
Big Show, because he's signed a multi-year deal. Big Cass is supposedly cleared for action. So, it could have been any number of people. but it ended up being Nicholas.
Nicholas.
So-
I'm so interested to see how they do this.
Yeah, because
Is it a new
he's
kid
a
every
child.
week?
You can't employ him. You can't sign him to a contract.
You
So-
can't risk him getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like-
So I don't know. In the same way that I got swerved with Sammy and Kevin. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're
And
doing with them.
you know, he could have been a plant. He could have been
Absolutely.
a wrestler's kid. I would like to believe he wasn't, because that's more fun.
Way to plant, Ann.
Yeah, exactly. And what was cute too is Braun, who's this big, mean, tough guy, you know, and
Yeah.
like super intimidating. In the ring with Nicholas, you could tell. I mean, he made this fun for
Yeah.
the kid. He was very cute with him.
Yeah.
Still tough, but
So, and they're honestly, I don't know. Every once in a while, I feel like maybe Jim Cornette or someone who is, gets aggravated at certain things. To me, they were building Braun Strowman as a murderer. He was a giant. I mean, his shirt literally said "a monster among us." He's a monster. You don't let your 10-year-old walk away with a monster, right? And so once it hit the mixed match challenge, right? His partner was Alexa, and then like they were wearing each other's shirts, and there was like a vague romance angle, and he was doing silly stuff, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, this is starting to sort of leak into kayfabe stuff, like actual storyline character stuff, because they would shoot all of those mixed match challenge things at an event. And so I got really, not really bothered, but as bothered as I would get about it. And then they do something like this, and it's like, okay, how do you... I feel like they might be complicating it to a certain degree, or maybe I'm complicating it too much in my head, of like, is this guy a monster or is he not? Is he like, does he nearly murder people like he did to Roman Reigns? Or can you trust him to be a normal human being around a 10-year-old?
see, well, and I kind of like it, because he destroys his opponents,
Yeah.
right? His male opponents, but he has a softer side.
Yeah, he's like a
He's
Frankenstein
still- yeah,
monster.
He's a good guy deep down. You
Yeah.
can see it, but and I like that. I like
yeah.
seeing both sides of it.
Yeah, like he would be one of those people that like would murder someone in the forest and then like pick a flower, like.
See, I think I
So-
wouldn't be. There are certain guys in this, like, I mean, like, I don't know, Brock Lesnar and stuff. I don't want to ever meet him. I don't ever want to be near him,
Yeah,
because he's just scary and mean. But Braun, who's scary and mean in the ring with his opponents, I feel like
Yeah.
would be nice to me.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
And I
so-
like that about him.
So all that to say, up until tonight, I've sort of been a little disillusioned with Braun Strowman's booking and writing and stuff like that, because to me it was like, pick a lane. What is he? Is he killing people by throwing scaffolding over on them, or
Just
is
bad
he
guys.
in
Just,
love with little blonde girls?
he's just hurting his enemies.
And so, but now it's like, okay, maybe he is like Frankenstein's monster. Maybe he is, he does the stuff that he has to do to protect the people that he loves.
Right.
So
To protect the little blonde girls. And the
and
little
the
10-year-old
little-
boys.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, so now I'm okay with it. I'm becoming okay with it. I can see a way forward with this type of character.
I like it.
So
I'm on board. I didn't used to like Braun at all.
no, yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah.
He's grown on me, because you can see a little bit of softness and goofiness occasionally
Yeah.
in him. I don't know. I'm okay with him. I liked this. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah, it was good
Nicholas.
stuff.
Nicholas was cute. And then the last match, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
This is awful chance. Not a great match. Not an interesting match. The only thing to me that was interesting about it was the fact that Roman Reigns might get the belt, and then we would be able to see a feud where the champion was there. And so
Brock Lesnar never. I just boo.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
He won.
he did. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, to be honest, I'm so far removed from the Universal title that this match could or couldn't have been on the card. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I honestly,
And it was the main event.
yeah.
Did
This
anybody
was the
care?
match that I cared the least about.
Well, there were quite a few "This is awesome" chants throughout WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Even with the 205 Live guys and everything.
The Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon match got no. Which one was it that got "Fight Forever" chants?
Ooh. Oh, wasn't that the Finn? Was that the Finn and Seth and
that was the
Miz one?
Intercontinental belt.
Yeah, that's the one that got the "Fight Forever" chant. And then this one got a "This is boring" chant, didn't
Yeah.
it? Isn't that what it was?
This is boring. This is awful. I think
Something like that.
Something like that.
Because it was.
Yeah, it was. And there were no, I mean, in as much as there were the highest stakes attached to this in that it was the Universal title match, to me, there were no stakes attached to it because who cares about the Universal belt anymore?
Well, and Brock Lesnar is never there. I mean, who cares about Brock Lesnar anymore? Do people still care about Brock Lesnar? Because
I don't know.
is he even on the radar?
He's always going to be on the radar because there's always going to be the will he, won't he with the UFC thing. And so I've heard that he's, confirmed to return to UFC. Who knows? Who knows? All I know is that until they take the belt off of him and give it to literally anyone else.
I'm not a Roman fan, but I would have been so happy if he got that belt.
The Universal belt isn't even on my radar in terms of anything that I care about.
Mm-hmm.
I care about the championship belt that AJ and Shinsuke were fighting for. I care about the U.S. belt. I care about the Intercontinental belt. I care about all of the tag team belts, women's belts, everything. The Universal belt, who cares? So, yeah, to me, at this point, until someone who is actually going to actively defend that belt and they're going to write good stories around that belt, I could take it or leave it.
The match got slightly more interesting when Brock punched Roman's head open.
Yeah.
And then they were both taking a bath in sweat and blood.
Yeah, he got
then it got interesting.
A gusher.
For a few minutes.
Eddie Guerrero.
I mean, it was bloody.
He opened him up the same way that he opened Randy Orton up. He did the same thing to Randy, where he just scraped him with his elbow.
Did he do it on purpose?
Yeah.
So that was intentional?
Yeah.
Was it planned?
And so was the Orton one. Yeah, they were both planned.
It was it was just pouring out of his head.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, that was interesting, but it didn't lead to anything ultimately.
It didn't make a. It just it gave some point in the match where I was like, "Whoa, look at that!"
Yeah.
Never during the match was I like, "Hey, check that out."
Yeah. So, I mean,
until there was blood.
That was the one point of interest, other than the fact that he got hit with however many German suplexes and 5, 6, 7 F5s, and there were a bunch of Superman punches and spears. I mean, we're talking about a match that there were 4 moves essentially of interest, and then Brock retains, and all right.
When will we see him again? How long will he retain? When will this be over?
I don't know. I don't care. I've got all these other belts that I focus on. And NXT. We should do a video
Live?
for NXT Takeover because that was a show and a half.
That was a fun show.
But
I didn't even know half the guys, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good."
Yeah. So, anyways, well, there's WrestleMania.
Yes.
We have anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. I think
All
that's
right.
it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. We would love to hear from you in the comments section. This is sort of a new channel for us, so we will be setting up social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram. I'll put the link to my Twitter in the description here.
Should we say what our plans are with this channel? We're going to review Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT
Yep.
each week.
Yep. Yeah, and just sort of do for those what we did with WrestleMania. So yeah, we would love to see you guys again. And again, like I said, leave us a comment if you could help us out by hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and maybe even the share button. Share it with your friends. Let people know that hey, there's this new channel out there that talks about wrestling. That'd be great. So yeah, unless you have anything else, thanks for joining us, guys. We will see you next time.